I'm Pinky, and I was assigned chapter 16, which is called the Ladykillers, from the Ladykillers. And the start of the chapter was the lightning striking the house, so I kind of wanted to make that my title slide. And those are the colors I used throughout. That's lavender, gray, black, and white. And I just wanted to make it dramatic, so that's why the lightning and things. I kind of didn't have that much character development. I just wanted to make it as realistic to the movie as possible. So that's Mrs. Wilberforce, and she kind of has a hunchback, but she always stands straight. So I wanted to portray that a little bit, and her hat with the flowers. I really like that. That's Mr. Robinson. His character is defined by his hair, so that's what I kind of went for in this. And the suits, I wanted to give it as much detail as possible. That's Louis. He always has a cigarette, so that's what I put. And his hat for the fedora. And that's the professor. He throughout my chapter, the professor has like a side, like you can only see the side of him. So I just made that view for him. That's the major. And in this chapter, he's really, really sad because they're discussing about how they want to kill Mrs. Wilberforce, and he doesn't really want to do it. So that's why I made him look kind of sad. That's one round, and yeah, I just like try to keep it as real to the chapter as possible. Okay, so this was like the first iteration of my first scene. I didn't like the colors in this one, so I changed it up in my final. And I changed the placement a little bit. So that's the first final. So they're all talking about how they want to kill Mrs. Wilberforce, and they want to make it look like suicide. So that was Mr. Robinson's idea, and the professor's kind of like happy about it. And they're all just sitting in that one room talking about it, and that's what I kind of portrayed in this. The second scene is when they pick the matches, and they're all just standing around and waiting for Louis to cut it and like decide who's going to be the one who's going to actually go up and kill Mrs. Wilberforce. So that's what I did. That's the final for the second one. And for my third one, it's after the matches have been picked and the major's got the shortest one, and everyone's like crowding around him trying to get him to go down and kill Mrs. Wilberforce as soon as possible. So I kind of wanted to show them towering over the major, so that's what I did. And that's my final one, final two, and final three.
I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the iteration for the first scene is much more effective than the final thing. Because it feels like the detailing behind is making us look at things other than what the scene is about. Okay. It's like too much going on in there.
Yeah, I kind of felt that too. I should have given more time than placing it.
I don't think that it's so much a problem with that there is detail in the background. It's just that the color is back there.
Yeah.
So your eye goes straight to the color.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, there's people. And I think your composition is really like the placement of the things you have on the page are really nice, and the ideas come across very clear. But then that color back there is distracting.
On the last slide, I kind of like what you did with making everyone bigger and the major smaller, but I might have spaced them out a bit more because it's kind of hard to see them just with everyone crowding around. There's only small together.
I would also try to make the major a little bit bigger. It kind of seems, I mean, I see you're overemphasizing it, which is really nice, but that's just a suggestion maybe.
I tried making it bigger, but then like the major just got lost in one round's clothes. So
Okay.
it's like, no.
If you separate those characters a little bit,
Yeah.
just give a little more space there, you may be able to make that adjustment. But I do like the extreme, I like it to be different, but maybe it's just a little bit too extreme there, and maybe you can get what you need by pulling the characters apart, at least the two on the right, pulling them over a little bit or something.
Yeah, to add on to that, like for the final, for your second scene final and third scene final, the right side of your composition is kind of just open with the,
Yeah.
I forget what it is, like a dresser in the background. So I mean, maybe for the second one, you pull the professor over a little bit more and then bring him away, and then maybe you can even make your case a little larger. It's in the top left, so it doesn't, because that was something I saw that was kind of cool with the money sticking out. Maybe make that a little bigger. And then pretty much same thing for the third, I guess.
This is only a guess, and other people can say whether or not they think it would help at all or not, but I'm wondering, particularly where we have the furniture in the back there, if that were represented in black and white, and the walls or the aura of the room itself were the lavender, if we would get the sense, there is a sense, you don't want it to be too bright in there. And there is a sense that they're in, it's a gloomy idea that they have to kill the old lady. So you might play around with using the color in the background a little differently. I don't know, does anybody else have an idea?
Yeah, I don't know what Rebecca's saying. If you do that, and then you can make like the back wall lavender, then it kind of shows the difference between the wall and the ground. Instead it just looks like a white composition with the purple.
I think Danielle has a comment.
Yeah, like I really like, this is not going off what they were talking about, but I really like composition. I love your characters. I think they're really fun to look at. The only thing that I could say about making them better is maybe don't color some of the things black, because I think the collars kind of confuse it sometimes. Like I see that some of the collars are black, so it kind of makes it, I think it, like for your first final, I think it's a little too busy visually. So maybe taking that and just coloring that gray would help tone it down a little bit.
I did that and it didn't look good,
Oh,
because it just
okay.
like looked washed out completely because they're all gray.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't really.
You might have to really like just tinker some more with where you put the color. In that middle one, the color, it seems to me that the violet the lavender color on the table would be appropriate, because we're all looking at the matches, for example. I think this is a case of you just got some great stuff going here, and just some more tweaking of them will, I think, get you where you want to be. Thank you very much.